how do you look at Prime Minister Modi's leadership as far as green growth and green planet is concerned?
Well, I think it's ambitious leadership. I mean, it's a fantastic nation, a very big nation, but with the scale comes also a lot of problems, and therefore a transformation towards a more green future is probably one of the biggest tasks you can have on this planet. And it takes strong leadership, and we can see from the discussions that we have today about leadership that the Prime Minister is indeed taking that on. I think there's a great opportunity here, especially in the collaboration, and having that foresight to team up with a country like Denmark that's been working for 30 years on the green energy transition, to see how can we actually combine the experience and the knowledge that's been working here, with the great also experience and knowledge that exists in India, to see how can we use that experience in an Indian context. And that can only be done through collaboration. So by bringing the companies together and bring the two nations together, I think India will indeed move forward.
How was your interaction with the Indian Prime Minister? What big takeaways you liked the most as far as this business forum's interaction is concerned?
As Prime Minister Modi has said, India has the scale and Denmark has the skills, and each and every time you hear about the scale, it's of course it's astonishing. It's fascinating to think about that. Soon India will be 1.5 billion people and have 20% of the world's working population. So that's something which, of course, is a big opportunity for Denmark and Danish companies as well.
Also, Prime Minister Narendra Modi talks about one world, one sun. India has taken a leadership role as far as the International Solar Alliance is concerned. How do you look at Prime Minister Modi's leadership when it comes to green earth, green economy?
We have a very, very big respect on his strategy and his programs, and I think that's the right thing to do in India and elsewhere in the world. So this is a brave program, and I think the strategy is clear now, and it's very clearly articulated, very clearly communicated. Now we have to execute. And I think there are the Danish companies like, for example, COVI, which is an engineering consulting company, can help a lot Indians and work closely together with India. We have a big presence actually in India. We have more than 500 engineers, and we need more to work in India, but also elsewhere in the world, and bring the Indian talent to the global scheme.
We at our table with Indian CEOs, we had a very good talk across the table, and there were many ideas that came up. There's a lot of opportunities when you speak to each other. For instance, in my table, we were very impressed by talking about Indian bananas. India is the world's largest banana producer, but it's not sold in the European Union because of lack of cold transport. And that's a huge opportunity for export out of India. And we should do something about it. But there is a lot of opportunities that we hear from all of the other companies also, and from Prime Minister Modi. And as we talked about, the numbers are so huge that, we can't get our arms down. So there's a lot of hope for the future.
So also Denfos is present globally, also in Europe, also in India. Various reforms have been undertaken recently, in the last 7 years specifically. How do you look at all these economic reforms in India?
Yeah, I think these economic reforms in India is paving the way for big developments, because in the past there were so many bureaucratic hindrances to big developments, but it's getting better and better. And there is a need for almost everything, and so therefore this is going to bode well for the future.
This is always a special moment, correct? I've been traveling to India for many, many years. I met a lot of Indian people over the years, but have the chance to shake hands with the Prime Minister Modi was for me a kind of very emotional moment. And also to see this person who represents 1.4 billion people, so approachable, so simple, so humble. I mean, unique moment in your life. So emotionally very high, and a very unique moment.
Mr. Peter Frost, thank you for talking to us. First of all, there are various reforms being undertaken as far as food processing is concerned in India. How do you look at all these reforms being undertaken in India?
I think it is very positive what's happening in India in this area. My company is called FOSS and we make food quality analyzers. So our small role is to assist in making sure farmers get a transparent and fair payment, and that we can assist in making sustainable food production in India for 1.4 billion people. And the reforms that are taking place is certainly supporting and making it likely that you will succeed in this transition. And we are happy in Denmark. We're fortunate enough to have some technology companies that can assist you in this process. We had a very positive conference here. And I think one of the things that all Danes took away from this session was his expression about fear of missing out. His advice to the Danish technology companies: don't miss out on investing in India, which has a great future for us. And I think there was amongst all the participants a sense that this was the way to go forward, and we look forward to doing more business in India.
Well, first of all, I think what Prime Minister Modi is doing is absolutely amazing. The ambition when it comes to climate is higher than anything I've seen. Just to put this bold target of 1 billion tons of reduction of CO2 by 2030 is bigger than anyone else. So the country, under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, is really putting their money where their mouth is. But as he said as well, skill and scale, we have a lot of skills that will help support this, especially because India itself is developing tremendous capabilities as well, has done over decades now. So that cooperation is just going to be very, very powerful in my opinion. And if you then look at the leadership of both countries, Prime Minister Frederiksen very much concentrated on the knowledge economy and making sure that we are at the forefront of technology when it comes to climate change. And then under Prime Minister Modi's leadership, the ambition of making India basically one of the most important countries when it comes to clean energy and clean manufacturing.
Also, India has taken several reformist steps or various economic reforms in last many years. Will this help you or will this attract you to enhance your capacities as far as investment in India? So, how do you look at it? Because Prime Minister talked about FOMO, fear of missing out.
Yeah. Well, we're not afraid because we have been in India for 70 years. If you take the ammonia plants, which is the basis for the fertilizer, 26 out of 36 are our technology. So we have been there. We are growing our presence there to about 1,000 people, and we are in many discussions with local companies, Indian companies, to actually invest in India and create manufacturing capability and capacity in India in joint ventures with Indian companies.